Every team starts the same way: a spreadsheet for projects, another spreadsheet for tasks, a few Slack channels, some Notion pages, and somehow everyone still ends up asking the same question: what's the status of this project? That was exactly our situation.
Curious how AI can actually simplify your daily work? You're in the right place. Here we break down powerful AI tools into simple, practical steps so you can save time, boost productivity, and create smarter without stress.
Information was everywhere. Updates were inconsistent, and nobody had a single place to see what was actually happening. So instead of adding another tool to the stack, I decided to see if I could build an internal operations system tailored specifically to our workflow using AI. And honestly, what surprised me wasn't how quickly it got built. It was how much our team actually ended up using it. If you've worked with a growing team, you've probably seen this before. Tasks live in one place. Deadlines live somewhere else. Project updates happen in chat, and meeting notes disappear into documents nobody opens again. The problem isn't a lack of information, it's that the information is scattered. Every week we'd spend time asking questions like, who owns this task? Is this project on track? What's blocking progress? Has this already been completed? And most of the time, the answer existed. Finding it was the hard part. The bigger the project became, the more difficult it was to keep everything organized. Eventually, we realized we weren't spending time doing the work. We were spending time trying to track the work. So I created a simple challenge. Could I build an internal operations tool designed specifically for how our team works? I wanted one place where we could track projects, assign responsibilities, monitor progress, update statuses, view deadlines, improve visibility across the team. Not a generic template, not a complicated enterprise platform, something built around our actual workflow. When I started building the dashboard, I didn't begin with wireframes or technical specifications. I simply described the system we needed. I explained how projects move through different stages, how tasks are assigned, what information managers need to track, and how progress should be reported across the team. What happened next was actually interesting. Instead of immediately generating code, Verdent first moved into its planning workflow. Using its plan system, it broke the project down into structured requirements and mapped out how the different parts of the application would work together. The platform identified the major components we needed: project management, task tracking, team collaboration, status reporting, dashboard analytics. From there, Verdent organized the work into individual execution tasks. Using Pulse, it created a clear workflow showing what needed to be built, what was currently being worked on, and what dependencies existed between different parts of the application. Rather than treating the dashboard as one large project, it divided the work into manageable sections. For example, the front end focused on creating the user interface, dashboards, project views, and task management screens. The backend handled the application logic, permissions, workflows, and project processing. The database structure was organized around projects, tasks, team members, deadlines, and status updates. Reporting modules were planned separately to provide visibility into project progress and team performance. What I liked was that each component had a clear role in the overall system. Instead of manually coordinating all of these moving parts, Verdent structured the development process automatically and kept everything organized throughout the build. Once the plan was in place, the platform started generating the application layer by layer. The dashboard began taking shape quickly. Projects, task tracking, status indicators, team views, reporting. The foundation was there. But something interesting happened. The first version wasn't perfect, and honestly, I didn't expect it to be. Because the goal wasn't simply to generate software. The goal was to create software that fit our team. This ended up being the most valuable part of the process. As the team started testing the dashboard, new ideas appeared. We wanted different project categories. We needed better filtering. Certain workflows required additional fields. Some reports needed adjustments. Instead of rebuilding everything manually, we simply described the changes. We kept refining the system through natural language. Little by little, the dashboard started feeling less like a generated application and more like a tool designed specifically for us. That's when it clicked. The real advantage wasn't building version 1, it was being able to continuously improve the system as our needs evolved. Building software is one thing, getting people to use it is something else entirely. So after the updates, we rolled it out across the team, and this was the moment that mattered. Would people actually open it? Would they update it? Would it become part of their daily workflow? Over the next few weeks, the dashboard became the place where projects were tracked, tasks were managed, and progress was visible. Instead of asking for updates constantly, we could simply check the dashboard. That alone removed a surprising amount of friction. The biggest improvement wasn't speed, it was clarity. Before, information was scattered, updates were inconsistent, project visibility was limited. After, everything lived in one place. Responsibilities were clear. Progress was easier to track. The dashboard didn't magically solve every operational challenge, but it gave the team a shared system that everyone could rely on, and that made a measurable difference in how we worked together. Going into this, I thought the most impressive part would be the generation process, but that wasn't it. What stood out was the ability to keep shaping the software after it was built. As workflows changed, the system changed with them. Instead of adapting our team to fit a tool, we were adapting the tool to fit our team. And that's a completely different experience. Most teams don't struggle because they lack tools. They struggle because their tools don't match how they actually work. This experiment wasn't about building a dashboard. It was about building a workflow that made sense for our team. And after weeks of using it, that's what made the biggest difference. Not that it existed, but that people actually wanted to use it. If you'd like to see what Verdent can do for your own projects, teams, or internal workflows, click the link in the description below and try it for yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.